Good day, everyone. We are the group that Finals Collaboration in Arts Appreciation, and we are here to present with all of you our personal artworks, including literary, visual, digital, art, and many more. So today, as we present our artworks, we will explain the meaning behind our art as well as the inspiration, techniques, and its functions. So the first presenter of her artwork will be me, and it will be focused on literary art, including poetry. So for today's presentation, I have three literary pieces to share with all of you, and it signifies my personal life and inspiration from the novels and books that I read. So this is my art, Between Us. So lost in the vast wilderness, in every gaze of your ocean eyes, the eccentric feeling in every touch, when our souls only meet at darkest night. Oh, how you can imagine the sorrow I feel. Not seeing you here is such a constant fear. I let myself wander through the abyss of despair, seeing the illicit lies that I cannot bear. My darling, why do you make me feel this way? This love of ours is sunshine, yet tragedy and day. For only the moon knows about our secret and daydreams. In between the sea, in the shallow night, I found you, my darling, my love and light. My darling Salia, the truth never lies, for the truth only decides in our lives. For us, the world is a treacherous path. Our love can only happen between us. So, the story of Between Us is about the story of Evelyn Hugo and Sally St. James in the novel of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's also one of my favorite books because it tackles societal issues that are relevant in our society, such as homophobia, racism, sexism, discrimination, and many more. But what I love about it is that the love that you can never break or you can never tear apart. Just like in my poem Between Us, it focuses the relationship between Evelyn and Savia, how the people in the community were treated back then. And it also highlights the unconditional love between two people who found each other but can never show due to the circumstances that people might say them. And I want to share with all of you my favorite line in the poem. So yung favorite line ko po is, for us, the world is a treacherous path. Our love can only happen between us. So it states that here that the world is indeed a treacherous or dangerous place to live when you are part of the community or someone na hindi pwedeng mahalin or they can't be together with someone they love. And it's one of the reasons why I wrote this, because it's personal to me and I'm part of the community and I'm very proud of it. I'm very vocal with it. But seeing the experience of someone who lived through that experience and the pain really exhibited the privilege we have right now. But in some cases, people doesn't really consider that type of love or relationship. But the society are slowly accepting the people of the community. And next naman, yung sa line naman na our love can only happen between us, is the line that no matter what happens, parang it's you, it's me, and it's us. Like the world doesn't have to know, because the most important is that you love each other and you found each other in this world full of chaos. So for the next literary art is juro que or I swear that. So it is pinagsama siyang Spanish and English. So this is my original piece then that I wrote during lockdown. So it was inspired by a modern novel that is originated in Europe called El Roman de Flamenca or The Romance of Flamenca. I was inspired by a Spanish singer named Rosalia who wrote an album about this novel. Pero may iniba lang ako ng konti and I tried to revise it and it was inspired by the story. So this is the piece. Kapitulo 1, Miguel. Blinded by his charming gaze and his captivating words and smile. This is how I met my husband, who I thought was sweet and kind. How come I was wrong for being so blind? So tired of his words and abuse, crying and weeping every night, I'm no longer amused. Waiting for him to come home with his made-up lies. I don't want to be tied up being his muse in disguise. I vaguely remembered the times we were happy, dreaming about La Vida of our own so clearly, and said yes when he proposed to me to get married. Remembering those times hit so different. Oh Miguel, mi amor, what happened to us? What happened to our love that's so everlasting comes to last? I can't picture myself with you when I always look at the past. You screwed up our love and leaves achiness to my heart. A divine prisoner of my husband's so-called love, wishing someday I'll be free away from his side. No more oblivious and desperate for his love I seek to find. Mi nombre es Flamenca. I'm no longer your prisoner and wife. So for this piece naman po, I wrote it earlier in lockdown and I really like to write a poem that is based from the books or songs that I read and listened to. So what I love or like about the story behind this is the strength of Flamenca to leave her husband who's cheating on her and the realization in the poem that felt real because it's her emotions and showing it to the readers of her being vulnerable and questioning her love for her husband. What I love about writing this piece is the truth of relationship that slowly turned into a toxic one because it seemed to be perfect before but due to circumstances marami ang nangyayari at nagbabago ang tao and hindi rin maiwasan yun and there's a huge possibility that it can harm your relationship just like in Flamenca's experience. So lastly naman po is A Lone Girl in the Woods. So itong poem na to, so very personal siya for me that I wrote it about myself. So it emphasized the idea of me running away from the roots of my problems. So, ito na po yung piece. A lone girl in the woods. He said, run, go run, and never come back. Away from all the burden of the dark. So I ran, far away, deep in the woods, weeping in this valley of tears, rushing for the path of the unknown. And teardrops became the rain. Can somebody save me in this endless pain? How far should I run? How long should I take to reach my destination? A lone girl in the woods. So, the woods is like my metaphor of my escape. It's like away from reality and finding my inner peace. I ran through the unknown where I don't know where and who I'm supposed to be. So that's why I wrote about this because it reflects my struggles and I'm always running until I find my place away from the mess. So that's all of my poems. Kaya poems yung pinakita ko po kasi I write poems because it's the first art I fell in love with. I like to read and write and become inspired with it. So every poem I wrote is either about a novel, people, or my personal experience in life. Sometimes I like to merge it with my personal life, just like in between us. In my techniques naman po, I always lagi ko pong ginagamit yung no rules, just writing. I write what I feel and I don't think I need to do rules because it's my experience and feelings and I want to express it as possible. So, pero may mga poems din ako na sinulat na haiku and 412, yung mga 412 rule. So, overall, my art is all about emotions and how I deal with it. I like to express myself in writing because writing is like my escape away from reality, and that's all. Yun po. So the next presenter will be Hannah Mendoza, and she will showcase her digital art.
So, ayan, digital art. Yan yung pinakauna kong piece noong 2020 na ginawa ko nung quarantine since yun na, quarantine, hindi naman makalabas. Nag-download lang ako sa phone ko ng Adobe pa ata yan eh. Tapos, chinek ko siya sa Play Store pero wala na siya ngayon. So, ayan, nag-try ako. Mga 1 week ko siya bago natapos kasi nga beginner ganun. So, hindi talaga ako familiar sa digital art. Dati, traditional lang yung ginagawa ko. Sa mga papel lang, ganun. Color pencil and all. Sa, ginawa ko yung piece na yan, pang dedicated lang as for siguro, nag-comeback na yung Itzy ng Not Shy. So, inisip ko, makagawa nga na isang art. Since may event noon na parang pwede ka mag-submit ng artwork mo, tapos pag nagkaroon sila ng showcasing ng album, mapapakita. Di naman ako umabot sa deadline. So, ayun, yun yung pinakauna kong piece noong 2020. Ang next ko naman, si Yuna, nung lumipat ako sa PC. Kasi merong dumating na pen tablet, so tinry ko. Gusto ko kasing mag-try lang ng mag-try since dati ay nawalan talaga ako ng gana mag-drawings, circumstances, ganun. So parang fresh start, nag-digital ako. Para, ayun, manibago talaga. Tapos after 2 years, bago masundan yung drawing ko since sobrang procrastinator ko. Ayan, recently ko lang ginawa si Hyunjin tsaka si Mina. Pero pinakauna kong ginawa si Hyunjin nitong May 11. Sinimula ko siya nung May 10, natapos ko siya nung mga siguro kinaumagahan ng May 11. Yun, tapos si Mina naman, ginawa ko naman siya nung 11 ng May 11 ng gabi, natapos ko siya kinabukasan ng May 12 ng umaga. Kaya siguro, wala naman ako specific na siguro meaning kung bakit mostly K-pop idols yung mga reference ko. Ano lang kasi, since madaling mahanap yung mga pictures nila sa Pinterest, ganun. So, sila yung pinakamadaling gawing reference. Dati naman, nag-drawing din ako ng mga friends ko, ganun, as a gift or like yung mga personal na like special na people para sa akin. So, ang technique na ginamit ko lang dyan yung 3D digital painting. Kasi hindi ko talaga mag-grasp yung like sa 2D na mga animation or like anime na styles. Tinry ko pero hindi talaga ako dun. So, nagtry ako ng iba't ibang type ng art styles hanggang sa dyan ako napunta sa paggagawa ng portrait. Naging malaking meaning din yan since, ayan nga, gusto ko ng fresh start. So like, ayan, yun yung nakapag-inspire sa akin na meron pa pala akong magagawa na hindi ko dati naiisip na kaya ko palang gawin. Since naisip ko dati, yung pagdodrawing ng portrait, sobrang hirap kasi ano siya eh, part na siya ng realistic na ano, mostly. So, ayun. Pero ayun, hindi naman ako nag-give up mag-drawing. Ayan. Pero hanggang ngayon, nagpa-practice pa din ako kasi hindi ko pa rin masyado maano yung like mga blending sa digital art. Yun lang. Ang susunod naman siguro si Chrishelle na mag-aano ng painting, si ano ba?
Thank you. Good evening. This artwork is inspired by the art movement in France during the late 19th century, the Impressionism. By using this movement as an inspiration, I created an artwork using its signature style. It's capturing fleeting effects on natural light, the common use of short and broken brush stroke of mixed and unmixed color vibration, and the typical subject of Impressionism, the painted outside world. I must also say that I'm quite fascinated and captivated of the artworks in this movement, especially Claude Monet's art like the poppy field, his iconic water lily painting, and much more. I also like how a non-artist like me could easily use its signature style by painting and using the brush freely. And honestly, I mean, as you can see from what I painted, I like the peaceful and serene vibes from Impressionism. I like how this art makes me feel at ease and in love with the sceneries that are used to be subject. By the way, I painted this one and I don't have a name for it. I just call it my first painting inspired by the movement Impressionism, as I find this art very simple with nothing's going on about it. I really admire and love the calm vibe it gives me. This art I created has also a fun and since bonding namin ng kasi so alam mo I like hanging out, socializing, and there's a lot of going on. Tapos I really like basta mga extravagant na things, ganon, like bongga ng mga bagay-bagay sa kahit anong gusto kong gawin, like even sa mga dresses, sa mga styles ko, ganon. Like, ang mga trip talagang designs and arts is the opposite ng minimalism, ganun. Tapos, when I discovered this type of art, the impressionism is like, wow, it's like my comfort. I find comfort in this whenever I'm painting at mga magagandang sceneries sa internet. I'd like to paint it. Meron din ako mga drafts noon but hindi ko kasi siya natatabi. Usually kapag nagpe-paint kami, yung nagagawa naming art, nawawala lang yung paper. Pares kasi kaming, you can say na burara. Anyway, since natatripan ko nga recently, simula nung quarantine nga kasi, di ba, nasa bahay lang, wala masyadong magawa, computer lang din. Doon ko natripan talaga mag-painting. Tapos ayun, tapos recently lang napag-aralan ngayon sa arts appreciation na subject, yung about sa impressionism. Doon ko lang discover yung art na talagang feeling ko para sa akin na trip ko at bet ko i-paint. Yan lang.
Hi, so my name is Reiffer Garcia and ang artwork ko is tattoos. So ang first tattoo ko is this. It says stay awake and very self-explanatory na po siya because parang reminder ko siya para tuwing mababasa ganun na when there's a problem or difficulties, stay awake, stay alive, keep fighting, and etc. And then next is this tattoo. So pinatattoo ko siya kasi people say or they say that diamond is the hardest or the strongest rock. So, very, ano siya, like, almost unbreakable, ganun. And then, tawag dito, this is a reminder of, ano, to remind me of my girl na, ano, she really had a big impact in my life. Na, ano, meron kasi siyang mga attribute, personality na, or parang kung paano mag-deal sa mga problem, ganun. Na parang siya is very, ano siya, very strong woman, independent, and then, sobrang tapang niya. So, parang nire-reflect ko siya na para siyang diamond kasi sobrang niyang indestructible. Ganun. So, since nagkaroon siya ng malaking impact sa buhay ko, yeah, pinatato ko siya. And then next is this rose. Ito naman is nag-stand siya sa ano ko, sa mami ko, sa lola ko, and then sa tita ko na parang sila yung tumayong parents sa akin since broken family. And then, ang kinagandahan niya kasi ano, lahat ng pangalan nila is parang nag-start sa word na rose. Like, Rosalie, Rosita, and Rosemary. So, yeah. Kaya ako pinalagay yung rose na yan. So, ayun lang. Thank you.
Okay, and that will be all our artworks, and I hope that you find something na matututunan sa mga artworks namin and the meaning behind our artworks. So, yun lamang po and thank you po.